Constitutional issues. For many people, politics doesn't work. The Westminster bubble is a world away from their daily lives. The Labour Party was founded to give working class people a voice in politics. We want our political institutions to be connected fully to the wider electorate, and will take urgent steps to refresh our democracy. The time has come for the real changes that a Labour government will bring. We will act immediately to end the hereditary principle in the House of Lords and work to abolish the House of Lords in favour of Labour's preferred option of an elected Senate of the nations and regions. But we also believe that the people must be central to historical political changes. The renewal of our Parliament will be subject to recommendations made by a UK-wide constitutional convention led by a citizens' assembly. This convention will answer crucial questions on how power is distributed in the UK today, how nations and regions can best relate to each other, and how a Labour government can best put power in the hands of the people. Only a Labour government will safeguard the future of a devolved UK, reforming the way in which it works to make it fit for the future. Britain is one of the most centralised countries in Europe. Labour will decentralise decision-making and strengthen local democracy. We reiterate our commitment to One Yorkshire and will make directly elected mayors more accountable to local councillors and elected representatives. We will re-establish regional government offices to make central government more attuned to our English regions, to support our regional investments, and to enable the shift of political power away from Westminster. Our democratic revolution will also extend to elections. A Labour government will repeal the Fixed Term Parliaments Act 2011, which has stifled democracy and propped up weak governments. We will maintain 650 constituencies and respond objectively to future independent boundary reviews. We will oversee the largest extension of the franchise in generations, reducing the voting age to 16, giving full voting rights to all UK residents, making sure everyone who is entitled to vote can do so by introducing a system of automatic voter registration and abandoning plans to introduce voter ID, which has been shown to harm democratic rights. Tackling vested interests. Labour will change how politics is funded, banning donations from tax avoiders and tax evaders, and closing loopholes that allow the use of shell companies to funnel dark money into politics. We will free the voices of civil society by repealing the Lobbying Act 2014 and overhauling the rules that govern corporate lobbying. We will introduce a lobbying register covering both in-house lobbyists and think tanks and extended to contacts made with all senior government employees, not just ministers. We will also increase the financial penalties available to the Electoral Commission and require imprints for digital political adverts. We will stop MPs from taking paid second jobs, with limited exemptions to maintain professional registrations like nursing. We will replace ACOBA, the Business Appointments Committee, with a sufficiently resourced and empowered new body, governed by a diverse and representative board and established in law. We will also overhaul the system of ministerial appointments to public office. We will bring greater transparency by extending the Freedom of Information rules to cover private providers of public services, setting new standards of consistent disclosure practice and ending the 6-month time limit in which the Information Commissioner can prosecute the deliberate destruction of public records. Northern Ireland. The Good Friday Agreement and long-term peace in Northern Ireland is one of the great achievements of Labour in government. Therefore, as a priority, Labour will work quickly and tirelessly to secure the return of a genuine power-sharing government in Northern Ireland. The devolved power-sharing institutions have not been running instalment for over 1,000 days. During this period, people have suffered in the face of a funding crisis as austerity continues to damage public services, which Labour will resolve. Working with a new Assembly and power-sharing government, Labour will invest an extra £19 billion to end austerity and rebuild public services in Northern Ireland. Women in Northern Ireland should have access to abortions in Northern Ireland. A Labour government will fully implement new laws on equal marriage in Northern Ireland so that same-sex couples are no longer treated as second-class citizens. We will work with all major parties in Northern Ireland to provide a good platform for the restoration of devolution alongside bringing forward and implementing a Bill of Rights for Northern Ireland as outlined in the Good Friday Agreement. A Labour government will also protect Northern Ireland and its people in any future Brexit outcome by ensuring that there is no return to a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland or the creation of a regulatory border down the Irish Sea. Wales. Labour's Constitutional Convention will include the Welsh Government's 20-point plan for the future of the UK to better recognise the realities of a devolved UK. Alongside this work, we need long-term reform of how the UK allocates public expenditure to ensure that it reflects the needs of different parts of our country and that no nation or region of the UK is unfairly disadvantaged. Labour in Wales has pioneered the social partnership approach, with the UK Labour government investing an extra £3.4 billion in Wales and a UK Ministry for Employment Rights. We will be able to do much more. Wales led the first industrial revolution, and with a Labour government in Westminster, we will be at the forefront of the green industrial revolution of the future. We will create jobs in Wales through environmental energy schemes such as the Swansea Bay Tidal Lagoon project. The Tories have let down the people of Anglesey by failing to deliver the Wilfer project. Labour will work with people on the island to maximise its potential for new nuclear energy, alongside investment in renewables. 9 years of Tory cuts have done untold damage, and the Thomas Commission on Justice in Wales is clear that the justice system is not working for Wales. Labour governments in Wales and Westminster will work together, using the Commission's report to put that right. 3 years on from the 2016 EU referendum, we understand much more about how Wales will be uniquely exposed to a hard Brexit. Only Labour will put this decision back in the hands of the people, and in Wales the Welsh Labour government will campaign to remain. Scotland. Labour in government will give around 700,000 Scottish workers a pay rise when we introduce a real living wage of £10 an hour. We will also provide Scotland with at least around £100 billion of additional resources over 2 terms. This investment will transform Scotland's peoples, communities, public services and industries. As part of that additional resource, Labour would want to see £10 billion from our new National Transformation Fund invested in the building of 120,000 council and social homes in Scotland over the next 10 years, ending the housing crisis and creating up to 50,000 jobs. This is the difference a UK Labour government would make to Scotland. As part of our green industrial revolution, we will invest £6 billion in retrofitting houses across Scotland, which will help tackle the climate emergency at the same time as lowering bills, ending fuel poverty and creating 35,000 jobs. A UK Labour government will also provide the Scottish National Investment Bank, under Scottish control, with £20 billion worth of lending power to deliver funds to local projects and Scotland's small businesses. Labour believes that Scottish independence would be economically devastating, and it would be the many, not the few, who would pay the price. Scotland needs the transformative investment coming from a Labour government, not another referendum and not independence. A UK Labour government will focus on tackling the climate emergency, ending austerity and cuts, and getting Brexit sorted. That's why, in the early years of a UK Labour government, we will not agree to a Section 30 order request if it comes from the Scottish Government.